Grumpy Goose's Bad Day. Written and illustrated by Nikki Lee. For Ava. It was a beautiful sunny morning. The sun was shining brightly on a lovely, warm August day. All was quiet in Mr. Goose's home. He was about to awaken and begin his day. Mr. Goose's alarm went off for the 5th time. He had to get up now, or he would be very late. Mr. Goose grumbled as he sat up and shut his alarm off finally. "Time to start another wonderful day," Grumpy Goose muttered to himself. As Grumpy made his way down the hall towards the kitchen, he noticed he did not smell his morning coffee. "You have got to be kidding me!" Grumpy felt himself getting madder and madder as he got closer to the kitchen. "This will not be a good day if my coffee is not already made!" Grumpy was very mad to see his coffee maker clean and empty. He quickly got it going to make a pot of coffee. "This is ridiculous!" Grumpy yelled. "It should have already been made!" Grumpy was furious. He decided to go get ready for the long day ahead of him. Grumpy wandered down the hall towards his room, thinking about all the hard work he had to get done by the end of the day. "I have so much to do today! Can't start without my phone or coffee!" Grumpy walked into his room and went to grab his phone that was on his nightstand next to his bed. "Now it's time for my coffee! So ridiculous! It should have already been made! I'm going to be late today!" Grumpy made his way back to the kitchen with his phone. He could now smell his coffee that was brewing in the kitchen. "My coffee smells good! Just how I like it! Strong and bold! I should have already been drinking it! So ridiculous! I'm gonna be late today!" Grumpy Goose yelled angrily. "This is not a good day!" Grumpy went to pour himself a cup of coffee. "I should have been drinking my coffee already! This is ridiculous! I'm going to be really late today!" Grumpy grabbed his cup off the counter and started walking out of the kitchen. "At last now! I have my coffee all to myself exactly the way I like it! Strong and bold!" Grumpy took a seat on his couch and turned on the television. He put on the news. Grumpy started to relax. After about an hour, Grumpy got a call from his friend Antsy Pantsy. Antsy was wanting Grumpy to come over and hang out for a while. "Sure thing, Antsy! You are a part of my plans today! I'll be right over! I've had quite the terrible morning!" On the way to Antsy Pantsy's, Grumpy stopped at the overpriced mini-mart. He ran inside and bought a few supplies. "Can't show up empty-handed! That's not polite at all!" Grumpy bought himself and his good buddy both coffees. He hopped back in his truck and headed to his next destination. When Grumpy got to Antsy's house, he gave him a coffee.
"Oh, perfect, Grumpy! Black and bold,"
Antsy said.
"I tell you, Antsy, it has been one crazy morning. My coffee wasn't even made when I got up. So ridiculous! It has made me late today,"
Grumpy said angrily.
"Whee! Why don't you come in and take a load off? Sounds like you've had a stressful day,"
Antsy offered.
"Sounds delightful! Lead the way!"
Grumpy said enthusiastically.
"So, what else happened today?"
Antsy asked. Grumpy repeated his story of his morning.
"Whee! That sounds intense! I would have had a cow dealing with all that." You have it handled, Grumpy, my man.
Grumpy and Antsy talked for what seemed like forever. They talked about all kinds of things, especially about Antsy's special collection.
I have about 9,485 coffee cup lids. Now with today's contributions, it would be 9,487 lids,
Antsy said proudly.
That's impressive, Antsy. Can we take a peek? I promise I won't touch.
Grumpy asked.
Right this way.
Antsy said excitedly.
Holy cow! What a collection you have, Antsy!
Grumpy said.
The other 4 rooms I can only look in because they are full of these lids,
Antsy said proudly.
Incredible, Antsy! You will have to let me know when you get 10,000 lids,
Grumpy said.
You know I will,
Antsy said.
Well, Antsy, I better get going, or else I'm going to be late for my next appointment. I just hate being late,
Grumpy said.
I appreciate you coming by. I will see you tomorrow then. Same time, same place,
Antsy said.
You bet! I will not be late tomorrow!
Grumpy said as he headed back to his truck.
Hooey! You still got that beat up old truck? About how many miles does it have now?
Antsy asked. Grumpy got angry.
How dare you insult me! I can't believe you, Antsy! What the heck, man?
Antsy laughed.
Well, Grumpy, it is pretty beat up. When are you going to look into getting something new?
Grumpy felt his anger rising. He glared at Antsy. Grumpy started his truck and took off down the road.
That's Grumpy for you!
Antsy laughed to himself. When Grumpy got home, he was still very angry at Antsy.
What nerve he has to just insult me like that! I am not going to hang out and be his friend ever again!
Grumpy headed to his living room.
I hope I am not late! Wasted too much time trying to leave Antsy's house. I cannot believe how he insulted me. So rude! I am never speaking to him again. Some friend he was. So rude!
Grumpy was glad to be home where he could relax from his stressful day. Grumpy checked his phone and saw that Antsy had been calling him. Grumpy turned on the 9 p.m. news. He got to thinking and decided to call Antsy back.
What do you have to say for yourself after everything I have done for you? Then you have the nerve to insult me?
Grumpy and Antsy talked on the phone for over an hour.
Well, all right, Antsy. I will see you tomorrow, buddy. I will dig through my trash can and find those lids for you.
Grumpy made his way down the hall towards his bedroom. He was very tired after the long and stressful day he had.
What a perfectly terrible day today has been. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Antsy is such a dork. He would be lost without me.
Grumpy laughed to himself. Grumpy walked into his bedroom and hopped into bed. He pulled the covers on him where he liked them.
Ah, so nice and comfy.
Grumpy laid in bed and thought about his day the next day. He thought about all the things he had to do. All was quiet and peaceful in the home of Mr. Goose. As Grumpy drifted off to sleep, one final thought entered his mind.
How does the clown painting change every time I walk by?
boys and girls, that's the end of our story. Hooray! I hope you had fun. Where'd that gosh darn Grumpy go to? Hooray! Grumpy's coffee sure is good. Alright now, all you whippersnappers, it's time to go. Go on now.